Hello. I want to thank you for taking a few moments to hear some of my thoughts on creating wellness. My experience has been is that, wellness is a multifaceted skill set, and it has a lot to do with being aware of what's going on with ourselves and how we're responding to the world that we live in, and how we're having and keeping boundaries for ourselves or not. There's so many aspects that lead to health and wellness that, I could make a whole series on spiritual work that will help us be well, and nutritional work, and breath work, and exercise. And I noticed that most people really like the exercise, so I've been doing that previously, and I'm starting to come back to wanting to do some more videos to support people like you that go, hey, what could I do to have more calmness? And today I'm going to really just offer this one nugget, and I think it's worth so much. When you look at somebody and perhaps your normal internal response is to be irritated and agitated or frustrated or short because you think you have all these things to do, what would happen if you pretended that you were them and wondered, like, if you were them, what would you need in that moment? What would you want to hear? How would you want someone to show up for you if you had flipped roles with them? And that's a way of creating empathy and compassion and connection. And what's interesting, because most of us are in a heightened state of fight or flight or attack because of these last 2 years have been very difficult. And then there's all of the other things that are outpouring from that, so that we actually have begun to attack each other as we attack ourselves because we're afraid. And there's only two main emotions, fear and love. And either we're feeding that wolf that we call fear, and it's destroying our life, or we're asking, how can I show up with that divinity within me and be loving and be kind and be supportive? And those are about having a practice. Like, what am I letting rent space in my head? What am I telling myself? How am I treating myself as if I'm someone that matters, which requires that I don't make everyone else's crazy my problem, because it's not. Those are the things that really sort of come in to play when you want to ask, what's the quality of my life? How do I feel living in my skin? So I'm just going to offer this little nugget. If I was that other person, how would I want to be treated? How would I want to be looked at? How would I want to be considered? And I'm going to ask that you give yourself that as an option, because believe it or not, everyone's hurting, everyone's scared. Everyone thinks, something, potentially could go wrong. And the reality is in that moment, that's the only moment we have. That's our life between this line and that line. And how we show up, it becomes the quality of our life. So then it really becomes about how do we manage our thinking, our intention, and how we show up. That's our gift, or our toxic contamination of not just the outside world, but the world behind our eyes. So I want to thank you. I hope that there's something here for you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.